Today we're going to talk about 4 general strategies to help advance fine motor skills while still following a child's lead. Hello out there and welcome to OT Ideas for Littles. So oftentimes for kiddos who are having a harder time with their fine motor skills, whether it's strength or dexterity, whatever it may be, they often just avoid it completely. And it's often really hard to get them to the table, figuratively and literally, to give an activity a try. So I wanted to go over 4 general ideas that will help therapists and caregivers follow their child's lead, but also assist in advancing their fine motor skills. So number 1. One way to integrate fine motor activities into basically any activity that a child enjoys, as long as the item is small enough, would be to place the toys in a container. Basically, the child has to perform that fine motor task in order to get to that preferred activity. And of course, you're going to select the container based on their skills and abilities, but let's look at some ideas. You could place the toy in a container with a lid like this, where the child has to take it off to get to the activity. Could be in an old ice cream jar, where a child needs to twist the lid off to get to their activity. Of course, it might not be as easy as that. You might have to help them, but working through that together in order to get to that motivating activity can be nice. Maybe you're having them open up a container like this to get out a piece of paper. Maybe you've put their favorite toy in a zipper bag that they have to zip to open. There's lots of different types of containers, but I love the idea of putting activities in containers so that no matter what the activity is, let's say for example, cars, it's really hard to work on fine motor with cars. But if we put the cars in a container like this, then we can have that kiddo who has a hard time with wrist rotation working on opening the jar to get to that activity. The second general idea would be to take whatever they're interested in and just make it smaller. By making the object smaller, we're going to target dexterity and precision with those fine motor tasks. For example, let's say a child likes to put objects in a container. If they're placing in this size ball, we might challenge them by giving them a smaller ball to pick up and put in. And once they get that, we might go even smaller. Other ideas, if a child is picking up a large coin and putting it in a slot, we could change it to a quarter and then eventually to a dime and have them be challenged in that way. If a child is coloring with a pencil and we want them to improve their grip, we might break it in half into just a smaller piece to have them color. Same goes with different activities. For example, beading, we might have them start out with, well, we really start out with a much larger bead in a ring stacker. But if we think about just starting beading with a 1-inch bead and decreasing it to a 1/2 inch bead, as we make those objects smaller, we increase the challenge. The third idea to increase challenge with fine motor activities would be to add a tool. Let's say a child is eating with their fingers. It's much easier to pick up the food and eat. To increase the challenge, we might give them a spoon to work on using that spoon and feeding themselves that way. Maybe they're playing in the sensory bin the same way, using their hands. Using the spoon to scoop into a container would be a great increase in the challenge there. If a child likes to play with Play-Doh and is squishing it in their hands, rolling it together, we might add a tool like a rolling pin or scissors to make that play more challenging. If we're working on picking something up and putting it in, we might increase that challenge by using something like clothespin. Or even smaller, we might use tweezers. Similarly, we might increase the challenge by using tongs. And the fourth way to increase or add fine motor challenges into preferred activities would be to create mishaps. So let's say the child is working on building a bridge and they want to bring their car underneath the bridge. We might build the bridge beautifully. Use your imagination. Put the car under a couple times and then, oh no, a storm's coming. A tornado and it fell down. If that bridge is motivating enough, that child is going to try again to make the bridge. Having them repeat the activity, increase their practice with some of those fine motor tasks. In creating some of those mishaps, really modeling asking for help, pretending as if you, the adult, cannot do it is going to motivate that child or help that child see that their skills are needed and invite them to participate. I think as adults, sometimes we forget how to model for help when we know how to do the activity. We just kind of do it for the kids, but really making those mishaps happen and then asking the child to help. But if you as the caregiver, instead of just opening it up, oh, here it is, and giving them the toy, modeling and asking for help, it's stuck. I need help. Can you help me? So there you have it. Placing items in different containers, decreasing the size of the toys that they're playing with, adding tools to preferred activities to increase the challenge, and creating mishaps and opportunities for the child to help. Those are 4 ways that I often, when I'm following the child's lead and trying just to increase a little bit of fine motor play in our sessions, those are some strategies that I use. I hope you found those ideas helpful. If you did, or if you have other ideas that you use in your practice, please put those in the comments below. I would love to learn from you as well. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications button if you'd like to be alerted when more videos come out. Thanks for listening. Ooh, even getting out that piece of paper is tricky. Whoa! Oh, it keeps falling. I'm trying to build a tower. It keeps falling. Can you help me? Can you help me? And having them put that piece on.